Hello everyone, this is the last review for the Sezon 24. Cezary versus Robin, very interesting game. Already Season 25 has started, but there was this game left. This move is a bit unusual these days, but of course it's also a Joseki move. And the most common answer by black is here. I believe that some people might choose to not play it because it certainly leads to complications, and that move is something which we know from our childhood. Yeah, but it's better to take the corner like this. Later, white can take a big corner, so white is not dissatisfied with such a result. We don't need to be too scared, in fact. If white plays like this, then it is the same as a Sansan invasion Joseki. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G is an unusual move, and then we can push through and cut. This is actually satisfactory for black. Maybe white can play something else. White can cut here. And then what can white do? Well, white needs to fight, but the fight looks a bit difficult. Descend. Then black can get more liberties. Let's connect solid to be sure. And then black should be able to simply play like this and capture white stones. So if the ladder doesn't work for black, then this Joseki is more scary. But if the ladder works for black, meaning black can run out, then after this strongest move of white, the descend, black can just get more liberties and then simply capture white stones. If white plays like this, we can just take liberties. If white plays like this, we go out. Yeah, so there is nothing to be particularly scared of in this variation. And then there are also other variations. Maybe white plays from the outside. I think we can descend. Maybe white plays here. We can certainly play this simplest variation, or perhaps such a move also might exist, but I don't know. Or even if we just pull back, it should be not bad for black. Like, what can white do now? If white plays this tiger's mouth, it's a common shape with this unusual stone of white, this attachment. So in fact, nothing really to be scared of in this Joseki. But anyway, in the game we have this one. Yeah, then white goes here and black goes for a modern variation. And then, white played this move. So this is a bit easy for black. If white plays this move, black didn't kick, black just connected. White stones in the corner are dead. And this stone is not that useful. The pincer at B is still limiting white's possibilities on the side. So the easiest Joseki here is to just capture the stone in the corner. It's a normal variation, and later we might try to somehow pull out the stones, but we also don't have to. And if white prefers the outside, then a sharper move than this one is a move here. If now black connects, then of course we get more on the outside. Unfortunately, to this move, black has a counter. Black can play this one. Then white answers, black answers, and now black's shape in the corner is comfortable. So it's not so exciting for white. And this move is is a very, very good choice. It gives black the possibility to simply take the corner, but then white can block black on the outside and get a formation on the bottom. So this is a Joseki. And then if black answers, then white can get a few moves in center, and later playing anything on the right side will feel better, because if we do it in a different order, we first play around here and later decide to jump, then it might be less of a center, or maybe black can cut through. So better to do it beforehand, because right now for sure black cannot cut through. Yeah, so this is a common way, and then I don't know which is the most common move. Many options here. All right, in the game we have this one, and then still that move. Yeah, so it's fine. Yeah, so it's kind of the same. All right. Black pushes. Yeah, I understand why black pushed, because later black didn't continue. So apparently black thought that if he plays here, then white's turn is center, threatening to capture 3 stones. And if black pushes once more, then the turn is not center. Yeah, black has more liberties here. So yeah, good to push as many times as necessary to not let white turn in center. That's a common principle in Go. Often we should push this many times. On the other hand, I am not sure if that move on the right side is valuable enough, because still the turn is big, even though it is not center. And let's say black plays on the right side and white gets these moves. So I think that white can be satisfied. Or at least it's not too bad for white. And yeah, like, what is it about capturing this stone? It's not a very important stone if black is safe in the corner. I mean, if it is without any agi, if white cannot fight, then it's all right. Then black would not add a move. But it's not really without any agi, because once white gets this move, and this can be gotten in center, then later white can actually go out, and then black needs to go back, and then it's not good for black. So, so probably when white turns, black needs to somehow reinforce the shape. And if black needs to reinforce the shape, then it's questionable if it's really worth it, especially that there might be a problem around here. It's a capturing race, so what was black's plan? Connect? Or maybe black's plan was to play such moves. Might be good, because then the cut doesn't work yet, because p4 is not center, and black still has a lot of points in the corner. Anyway, white really disliked the prospect of losing that stone on the right side and found this move. Interesting choice. Instead of playing here and here, which obviously leads to a trouble for white, because there are 2 weaknesses to take care of, white starts with this move, and if black connects, white goes out very neatly. But unfortunately, black knew well that he can go into this fight with the extension, even though the exchange is not made. Still, the result doesn't look too appealing for white, as white is disconnected and both groups are weak. So now white connected here, black connected, white got this in center and found time to play on the right side, but then still white lacks a move on the bottom side, and black can now attack the group. And I would do it. Black instead made this exchange, which seemed like if black is planning to go out. but maybe instead of going into this fight directly, we should first keep calm and make this group stronger by attacking the group of white, and later we can still use that agi. So instead, I would right now put pressure on the group on the bottom. Black played one exchange and then put pressure. So uh, making such an exchange and then playing away is a bit risky because white has an option um, to just monetize what was done on the right sides. This is now good for white that black made this exchange. However, the cut at 2 is also very big. So white connected, keeping black disconnected, but then black goes out. And now it's really a difficult position for white because there are 3 weak groups. We don't really want to push because it only weakens the other group. We don't want to play here and jump because it weakens this stone. So instead, white chose such a bird Kosumi, which I the term I introduced on one of the Iglo lectures um, about dealing with complicated positions. By the way, this move of black is also this type of Kosumi, flying away from opponent stones. Very good move. Maybe a weaker player would push, but this would only help white, and now black has 2 problems to take care of. So instead we play Kosumi, and then white also follows with Kosumi. However, maybe still it's nice to go so fast, jump, and we can just skip this first exchange. So we can simply play Keima. Black cannot cut us, it would not be good for black. This would be the same variation as we looked at before, but with the 2-5 exchange, which is satisfactory for white. If black plays here, then of course white plays this one and not fills the empty triangle of black. So it's maybe a bit harder for black to deal with, but of course it leaves a weakness, and yeah, not sure. White's Kosumi is also a good move, but the position is bad. The position is bad. So white tries to not lose any of the groups. Maybe a good strategy because then it's never obvious for black. However, of course, white is the one in trouble. Yeah, at the current moment, it's good to consider this peep because if we don't do it, then the opponent can do it. So usually peeps are not recommended, but when the 1 space jumps are 2 space away, then actually the player who gets the peep is the one who gets a little bit of a base of an I shape. And often it's the case that if one gets the peep, then the other one will not be able to get it because the opponent can answer in an alternative way. The same for white. If black plays here and then white plays here and then black jumps in, then white can play differently. Yeah, but the players haven't played these peeps. And now black, it was the moment when black didn't know how to proceed with this game. Because it seems that white is in pieces, but we cannot really get tangible profit from it. So what to do? What to do? Black should keep calm, but black didn't and decided to just try to decide the game as quickly as possible. Pushed once, which will help in the net, which black plays against this group. And yeah, it can lead white to a lot of trouble because locally it's not sure that the group could live, and even if it could, black would be very happy getting the outside, wrapping white. But white tries to go out, and it's in fact not easy for black to contain this group. So black tried, but then white thought about this combination, which doesn't work, but to make it work, white first cuts, extends, and now this combination can work, so white is out. However, after playing these moves, white realized that when white goes here, black has this tesuji of a wedge. If white plays this one, then we have a miyai. White can connect the group. If white plays this one, then black simply connects the stone. If white plays here, then black goes out. So, in fact, it's not possible. This move doesn't work. Then it's a pity that we played these bad exchanges. But in the end, white chooses this move. But in fact, this is the same. Still, black has this one, right? So black would just play here, and white would be disconnected, and then the game could finish at the spot. I mean, this is a significant gain for black. It will be difficult for white to continue, but black missed this move, unfortunately. So the game continued. Now the game continued, and moreover, black not necessarily gained on this attack, on this loose net, because in the end, white connected two groups. Yeah, black gained something in the center, but there is no target anymore. So maybe it could have worked, and then it's not a bad idea to play that loose net. But if in the end white is connected, then it's a better idea to wait, to play more, to play simpler moves. And white will be in trouble all the time because white needs to take care of so many groups. And if white plays here, then black goes there, and suddenly the group in the corner might get into trouble. So we don't need to hurry too much um, in reaping the fruits of our advantage. We can simply play with our opponent around, attack the group a bit, and we will be gaining if we only keep the correct direction of play. Our opponent will suffer and not us. So this was a bit of an overplay, maybe, at least if in the end we are not able to capture white's group, and now white is happy. Relatively happy. Still, black gained something and has sent it to continue attacks. And yeah, now this is a good play, 1-2, and we are getting territory in the corner. White tries to go out. I am not sure about this. Maybe better to just live on the spot. However, if we need to lose center, then maybe better to try to go out and still attack black groups. Yes, like put some pressure on black groups. But then I would continue with the plan, I think. Yeah, like this, white was forced to take Gote to live, and black continues the attack. So now black knew how to attack the group. Yes, good direction of play, and also good peep. You see again this stones with a distance of two intersections, and then it is valuable to peep, especially if we also have a stone from the other side, so we are not afraid of making our opponent stronger. All right, so black peeps, and then continues the attack, and finally gets the profit. So this is a very big profit, and the game looks very good for black. Black might be already starting to relax a bit. Now black simply reduced white's potential on the left side. Yeah, built a group there. This is a big move, of course, but then white plays this one, trying to reduce black's territory. And you know, like, I'm sure that black feels that he has an advantage, but I'm not sure if he counted points to know how big the advantage is. And it's quite important to count points, even if you feel like you have such a big advantage. And we will learn why it is so important. On one of the Mateusz Surma's books, like in all of his books, he has quotes from himself, motto. And one of these mottos is that if too early you started to think that you will not lose a given game, then you will actually lose it. If we start to think that we cannot lose a game, then we are likely to stop trying to do such routine basic stuff as counting points or looking for the best move and so on. And when something unexpected happens, we might not have time to count points, or we might still be in that mood of winning and still not care enough to count points or to judge the position. And then we might lose the game. And the games are long, so there are always many chances for something unexpected to happen. Yeah. So I don't know if Cesare counted points at this stage, but we will do it to know a little bit. So here, let's count that F19 is white center, because maybe white's continuation there is bigger than black's. Like, let's give it to white, and then white has this many points, 15, 20, over 20 points, 25, 32, maybe 42, plus Komi. White has up to 50 points, maybe 50. White can count on having 50 points. And then black has 6, 8, like almost 10 points here. Then 10, 15, 25, a few here, so 30, and then 10, 20, 30. All right, a bit less, because maybe these are not black's points, maybe these are not black's points because white can reduce, but still with these points is already 30. And before that we had also 30. So it's already 60 plus a few points in the corner, 65 plus a potential here. Black can count on having up to 70 points maybe. So it seems like black has a 20 points advantage. It was inaccurate counting. Maybe we were a bit optimistic for white in this corner and not for black, and in fact black can also play c2. But it is at least 20 points advantage of black. All right, and now white plays this move, and I know what happened later in the game, so I could now tell black that, oh, when he saw this move, he should have thought that there might be a danger, and he should play a curative move, a safe play, and not a Hane. But of course, it will happen to us many times in games that we will not realize that the move of the opponent has a special plan behind it, and we will just answer normally. First black played this cut. Yeah, and this Hane is the most usual answer. So especially if we are winning, then we might be not thinking very deeply, and we just simply answer to such an opponent's move. Then white plays this bamboo. And actually, when white plays this bamboo, I believe that it is a moment when we realize that something is going on, because it is a double peep, and we cannot protect here because then a big group will die. So we need to protect here, and then white goes through. White continues. So now we are sure that white is trying to break our shape. Moreover, it might be that he is not just aiming at this thing, but at something more scary. So once we saw that something unexpected happens, a double peep, we know that we need to become more alert, and I am sure that black actually became more alert right now. And then what should black do? Well, if black could read this sequence and realize that it faces him with a super difficult choice of leaving this group, of losing that group or losing the whole corner, then he should already start looking for alternative variations. And actually, there is a very easy alternative variation here. Black can jump. Then, of course, white goes into the territory, but black can also push. So black even secures almost half of that territory on the top. And which is better, this or that, losing the corner? Like in the game, white played here, and then black connected, white captured the corner. So because something unexpected happens, we need to become alert and try to make correct judgments and hide our laziness, like forget about our previous thoughts that, oh, this game we will for sure win. No, we need to focus. This is the moment. So let's estimate. If we lose this corner, then white suddenly gets 10, almost 20 points, and we lose how many? We lose also like up to 10 points, maybe rather 8 points, but this means that the corner is worth up to 30 points. And how much is the top side territory worth? The top side territory which black secured. Well, black can count on up to, let's say, up to 27 points here in this variation. But in this variation, black can also count on many of the points. I would say 7, 10, 12. So we lose 15 points, and maybe white gets a few points. So up to 20 points. But then it is completely clear that that the corner is bigger than this one. Unfortunately, um, at such moments, we sometimes start to panic, or we might think that, oh, it's too difficult to judge what is bigger, because we were already in the mode of judging which of such moves is bigger, and these moves are very small, and compared to what happens on the top. And then if we see that our territory is being broken into, or the corner dies, then we might think, oh no, this is impossible to estimate. But this is completely not true. It was actually very easy to estimate it, and I believe that it's possible to do it within 30 seconds Biomi. It's actually a much easier task than trying to count points and make a decision based on this. But anyway, if we have counted points before and knew that we have 20 points advantage, and here we lose up to 20 points, then we can still think that it will be a good game. I mean, there is one thing. Actually, here black loses center, and in the game black kept center. So all this analysis might be inaccurate, because there are still big moves on the board. So actually, maybe black's choice is not bad. Now that I think of the question of center, because here white would be the one to play this one, and then white would be the one to crawl. All right, so a bad thing happened, but certainly this is a moment to start thinking in a very cool-minded manner, and not make decisions based on our emotions. Yeah. All right. Then white played this, and again black had this chance to connect and then to jump. But all right, maybe black decided that actually center will be more valuable. I am not sure if this is the case, because actually right now white also had the chance to play these moves, right? And if black cuts, then white gets more here. Most probably, because already black's corner is greatly reduced, and later it will be likely white center to capture these 3 stones. Um, So white could play these moves and then connect, and suddenly white has a chance to win the game. So white also should focus really a lot right now. White also should focus. Suddenly the game became tense, but then black gets these points, and this is a very big gain. 4 points in a double center, we must say. At this stage of the game, it counts as a double center. All right, then the game continues. Once black managed to push here in center and white didn't answer like this, then maybe the turn is not biggest. We already gained something. Maybe c2 is bigger. Yeah, white gained quite something. The game continued, and I believe that black played the endgame a bit better in this game. But here is a losing move. Like when a game finishes with a slight margin, we can say that a losing move about many moves, but here black should play from the corner because there is nothing here. But after black plays this one, then there might be something with the liberty problem. All right, now the group seems all connected, but still no one knows what will happen. And then actually in the game, a thing has happened. White managed to disconnect black. Yeah, and then once white managed to disconnect black, black lacked a move here. So this costed black at least 1 point. Yeah, and then there was endgame, 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 and the black played this move. So in the end, black lost by half a point. Very painful after such a good start. But also it's quite interesting how bad the game became for white, only because of this unnecessary fight in the beginning. So right now, for sure, the difference is within the range of 2 points because no one really made any significant mistake. But once we start a bad fight, then the game might become very bad. So I also believe that right now the difference is not too big, but maybe the thing was to play here and to avoid complications. Black can play like this, but it's still not a disaster. It still cannot be called a disaster. But if we connect like this and we let our opponent get these strategic goals of disconnecting our groups and attacking a few groups at the same time, then the position might get very bad. It can become easily, it can become 20 points for the opponent, 20 points advantage. So yeah, black played well, but then this unexpected thing happened. So in fact, like the correct thing to do was to play this move. Then for sure black would win because then white's gain is very limited. But once we played this move, now I see that it's not completely obvious how to continue because after this move we will lose center and still we lose a lot of points. So not sure if this is actually better than what happened in the game. I would think so, but yeah, it's unclear. And this one is probably risky. Yeah, so difficult to find the correct variation here. Yeah, so you see, you need to be alert all the time, in fact, and maybe once you play this move, it might be too late. Like certainly you need to start to think at this point, but it's good to be alert all the time and realize that there is a risk already when your opponent played such a naive and such an innocent move as this attachment. All right, this is it about this game. Thank you for listening, and good luck in the next season of Iglo. Bye bye.